is up, YouTube, and welcome again to another episode of Behind the Wall presented by Perky Jerky. This is the 50th episode of our podcast, so we need to celebrate it. I don't know how we're going to do that, but the point is, we've hit a milestone. We are incredibly proud, and as always, I am here with the boys, Kane Jr. 88, Thermite 917, and myself, Robo 43. We've been here since day one. I mean, I didn't want to get emotional, but this is an emotional moment for us. Guys, we've come a long way. I'm proud of all of you. Just wanted to say that.
We really have. I mean, you pissed me off for 50 straight or 49 straight episodes. It's going to be 50. Kane's going to make noises for 51. He's just has an extra episode of just noises. It's a secret episode. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
It's been a fun ride. Here's to 50 more.
Absolutely. So,
hell of a ride there, gentlemen.
Yes. Thank
And
you, Kane.
Like Nick said, here's to 50 more.
Absolutely. We're not just here to celebrate, but we're going to talk about the Martinsville race weekend. I was very fortunate to be there and be front row seat to all of it, everything that happened. So let's get right into the Cup race recap of the STP 500. Nick, take it away.
All right, Denny Hamlin won Stage 1. It was actually a pretty great finish. Some lapped cars got in the mix as Keselowski was chasing him, but Hamlin held him off. Stage 2, Ryan Blaney took the lead pretty early and held off a charging Clint Bowyer at the end, but Blaney took the Stage 2 win. There were no cautions for incidents through the first two stages, although they did have a competition caution on lap 50. Clint Bowyer took the lead early in the final stage, but apparently his gas man didn't fill up the car all the way, so he was going to have to pit soon. But fortunately, Jamie McMurray had an incident around lap 385, which saved him, and everyone pitted around that time. Bowyer was able to hold everyone off. Kyle Busch was coming, but it wasn't quite enough. Clint Bowyer wins. He snaps a 190 race winless streak, leading 215 laps. So what a race for him. Stewart Haas continues the dominance of the early season. Not many cautions, but it was still a pretty great race for Martinsville. Let's head right to the ratings. Tyler, you were there. What would you give it?
Well, being there obviously amplifies everything, and that is the same case for any race, no matter how dull or exciting it is. Being there, it was not the best Martinsville race I've ever seen or been to. Definitely not the most attrition-filled. That's coming from someone who was there the day that Brian Vickers caused like 16 yellows on his own in 2011. That was one hell of a race. Hilarious, actually. But for this particular outing, I'm going to give it a 7.5. It was really solid. Just a lot of green flag racing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it had a little mix of everything in a classic sense of a Martinsville race. And there was a feel-good story. You know, if Kyle Busch had won it, I probably would have given it a 6.5. So that's just my bias taking over there. But, Kane, what's your race rating?
My race rating, I'm going to give it an 8. It was a very solid race. It's Martinsville. It's one of the very few times during the year where we actually look forward to a race because you know it's going to be good, and obviously Martinsville didn't disappoint. I mean, it wasn't as caution-filled as one would expect Martinsville to be, but again, props to NASCAR for letting the race play out and not, bunching up the field late in the race for, drama. Very solid racing throughout the whole field, so an 8 from me. Nick?
All right, I'm going to, once again, somehow be the negative one here. I'm going to give it a 7. I mean, it was just a straightforward Martinsville race. This race can really go either way. It can be a lot of cautions or not many cautions. This was the latter. It was still great racing at times. There was some beating and banging. A great feel-good story, like Tyler said. However, if I was given the truck racer rating by itself, that would be like a 9. I mean, that was spectacular. But we'll get to that later. So that's the race ratings.
All right, well, let's get into this week's topic, and it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be about my Martinsville race experience. It was a good one. I mean, that's the blunt, direct way of putting it. Starting it right from the get-go, this is one of the best things, and it's not even really directly about the race. Tickets. Okay, when you get a ticket for $11 plus a little bit of service fees from StubHub.com, that's awesome. Okay, and that's to see two races. The snow threw a wrench into a lot of people's plans, And, you know, some people had to call off sick, and some people couldn't do that, whatever, because they're pussies. But The point is, it worked out really well for me. I mean, I don't know if that can ever be topped for me personally, ever again. So with a ticket price, food, I had 4 Martinsville hot dogs. They are delicious, by the way. And gas all the way there, I spent less than $40 for the entire trip, and I saw 2 races. That is
You can't
insanity.
you can't beat that.
No, it's
Nope.
impossible. I really believe that. That's a scenario that may never happen again, especially at Martinsville, which is my favorite racetrack of all time. So it worked out terrifically. We got there, perfect time, saw the truck race. I had so much fun during the truck race. That was a hell of a race. Enjoyed seeing John Hunter Nemechek take it to him. That race had a little bit of frustration in that one too. I like Stuart Friesen, man. I was not happy that he got taken out in that, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in the awards. And the same thing kind of happened in the Cup race too. Personally wise, like watching Chase Elliott run mid-pack all day long was not fun. Still snagged a top 10 out of it, but Clint Boyer getting that win, really cool deal. Just to see just like that atmosphere, like as soon as it's happening, he's right there doing a crazy burnout. I mean, he chucked that thing into turn 3. Looks like he's gonna hit the damn wall and just does a damn burnout, and huge cloud of smoke over there in 3 and 4, giving those people some of that, and then coming onto the front stretch and doing the exact same thing, absolutely burning it down. The smoke and melted rubber smell right there. Fire, bitch! Really cool deal. Gets out, stands on top of his car. And then he runs. His little boy comes trotting down there. He's like, and Clint's just like, yeah, come here, give me a hug. And it was just a cool moment. Just everything right there. And not to mention after the race, that's one of the best things about Martinsville is the Victory Lane celebration is literally right in front of you. Not to mention, hey, there was like hardly anybody there, so I got to sit wherever I wanted to. So naturally, we're sitting right basically at the start-finish line. And that's what we did. We went right down to the fence shortly after the race. Clinton came through the damn stands. That was pretty cool. I almost caught it. I just noticed him walking through the gate. He's got the champagne bottle. He's got, he's spraying some people with it. We get over there. One guy afterwards, he's like, yeah, man, he got me with the champagne right there. I don't really even care. I offered him a beer, but, I do with the champagne. And, people that are just drunk and southern and redneck, so they were flooding down there. It seemed like a madhouse, but there wasn't really that many people there. And he actually came back through the stands once again. He had some crew members that were tossing hats and shit like that. Just really cool deal. He came back through again. My buddy of mine got a selfie. Another one got autographs, stuff like that. I was just kind of right there. I tried to give him a high five or whatever, just kind of like got shoved out of the way, and I was like, all right, I'll just back off. I'm not that big of a Clint Boyer fan to begin with. I'll let somebody else who's actually a fan get in there and have their moment. So but I took it from afar. It was still really cool. Just he hasn't won in a long time, so good for him. Yeah, it was just a great overall experience. Went clean, went well, no real problems. So can't ask for much more than that.
I'm so jealous.
Be jealous,
Yeah,
mate.
man, I freaking hate your guts right now.
That's fine.
Just
Kane.
kidding. We love you, Tyler. We love you.
Oh, I was.
buddy.
I wasn't kidding. I'm not kidding. I fucking hate you, man. Just kidding. That's what we do
The
here.
range of emotions just now.
I know, right? Just like the total shift of everything. But yeah, trust me, Martinsville is an experience that you really have to experience at least once. It's an experience you need to experience. Experience. I've said experience like 6 times in a matter of 30 seconds. But that's to put the emphasis on the fact that you should be there. It's a great track. So I'd recommend the Cup or truck race. Or both.
Or Xfinity. Oh, wait.
LOL. Get back there, please.
Fucking NASCAR!
Yeah, damn NASCAR. Ugh. See? It's always back to NASCAR and their stupid decisions. But we're not going to let that affect how great of a racetrack this is. Oh, it was a little bit cold, but that's okay. I came prepared. Always come prepared. Bring your mittens, kids. Bring them.
And your Snuggie.
I didn't have a Snuggie. I wore sweatpants underneath my pants. And then I wore 3
Whoa.
layers on my torso. I came
that
prepared.
works. Yeah, you did.
And I wore my Mountain Dew jacket, my Mountain Dew throwback jacket, you know? Rootendale Jr. on.
Hey.
Oh, wait, never mind.
You mean Dewey Rider? Stupid Mountain Dew and Fox or whatever.
I want to throw it up into a
Erase
trash can
promotion.
right now, Kane. I really do. I think that's it.
Oh boy.
Well, the trucks were back after a short break, and you know damn well what that means. Where'd it go to coffin finish? Oh man. Old Jagermeister. He did not have a very good outing at Martinsville. And he came home with a 26th place finish after starting 10th. But, you know, it wasn't all his doing. Even though he did have a little bit of a penalty early on and kind of set himself back. He was actually a lap down for a majority of the race. And when things kind of started going decent for him, he got back up in the top 10, you know, pretended like he was going to do something, but he wasn't going to. He ended up having a brake lossage with a little bit less than 60 laps to go, I believe. And, yeah, didn't work. He had to go behind the wall, lost 25 laps, and just eventually finished 26. So here's what he had to say. Oh, wait, he didn't have anything to say because his page isn't updated. So we're just going to go ahead and create one. The Jakes.com Chevrolet Silverado ran really great out there. I thought we were a threat for the top 5.
Okay, Cody.
We had a problem early on, but we made up for it. And I was there in the mix late in the going. But unfortunately, our brakes failed. I just want to thank everybody at the whole GMS Racing Shop and Jerry Baxter, my crew chief, for putting together a wonderful number 2 Jags.com Chevrolet Silverado Jags.com Jags. Jags!
Jags.
Jags!
I really thought you were reading something for a second. That was great.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say, I'm so thankful to Maury Gallagher for giving me an opportunity to drive his trucks.
Well, you just did.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I just did.
Poor Cody.
He is
Yeah.
poor. Actually, not really. Daddy's money. Get out your checkbook, Mr. Coughlin.
Okay.
That ended a little bit creepy. All right, now it's time to hand out some awards for the Martinsville race doubleheader. And we're going to lead it off with a classic, the boner of the week. Who was it?
That goes to Todd Gilliland, surprisingly. I guess he thinks he's all that because he's great at K&N and is driving for Kyle Busch. But really early in the race, like lap 80-something, he was just aggressive on the restart. It was the restart where Stuart Friesen stayed out, and it was really stacking everyone up behind him. And Todd was like, I'm tired of this. I'm going. And he just shoves Johnny Sauter right into Friesen. Friesen spins out, collects like 5 to 7 other trucks. It was just quite the little pileup. No one really had major damage except like 1 or 2, but it really ruined Friesen's day, which salted Tyler and many others, I'm sure.
Son of a
But
bitch.
man, I tell you what, knick-knack, paddywhack, Todd gave the bone. Next award.
And the next award is becoming a very common one here on the podcast. It's the Day from Hell! And that goes to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And essentially, he had a weekend from hell. He crashed his car in practice, had to go to a backup. Obviously, qualifying gets washed out. He goes to the rear anyways. Oh my god. I really don't know that Ricky Stenhouse passed the car. He literally went nowhere. He was lapped in the first 30 laps. I don't think he had a scratch on the car the entire 500 laps. He just realized that that was the biggest hunk of shit he had ever driven. And there was a point it just looked like he gave up. And I really don't blame him. I actually feel bad giving this award because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had to go through an absolute day from hell, finishing 37th, 19 laps off of the lead lap without ever going behind the wall. He got beat by 2 people that were behind the wall at some point, Austin Dillon and Bubba Wallace. J.J. Yaley, for Christ's sake. I mean, we know J.J. Yaley in a back marker car lapped him 12 times. I cannot express how awful this day truly was. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., just worst thing I think I've ever seen. Worst performance by any team. They should be utterly embarrassed. Next award.
All right, our next award is another regular. It's the Straight Jacket Award! And it goes to Mike Seneca. Who are you? He's a start and park driver in the truck series. He drives for a bunch of underfunded teams. Well, he had a pretty notable problem or something or whatever this weekend. He was black flagged very early in the race, like not even 5 laps into the truck race for being too slow. And what does he do? He doesn't go on to pit road. No, he disobeyed NASCAR. And he ended up being parked after 8 laps. Yeah, this all happened Saturday before the truck race was postponed to today. My God, Mike Seneca, you must be freaking crazy to disobey a direct order from NASCAR? What the hell is wrong with you? God. Next
Well said.
award.
Well, it's that time once again for some cigars, and we have a bunch. The first ones are for the Truck Series, and the first of the first ones goes to John Hunter Nemechek, who picked up his 6th career Truck Series win after having a great restart, making it 3 wide, and he checked out. We all thought Brett Moffitt would catch him because he was on fresher tires, but Nemechek he was a sneaky bastard, and he pulled it off. I'm really happy for him. He got that first grandfather clock after finishing second a few times, I think. So great for those guys, great for that whole team. He's not even running full-time in trucks this year. He's doing part-time in trucks and Xfinity. The more wins, the better. The next cigar goes to Kyle Benjamin, who made his first career truck start. He finished second it was like David Gilliland, Crosley Motorsports, probably affiliated with Kyle Busch because he was so good. I'm not sure Gilliland can run a team on his own. I don't know. That's just my belief. But, I mean, Kyle led 74 laps. I mean, he was a threat to win. If not for Nemechek, I mean, Benjamin was there. He bumped Nemechek in the final turn to give him a shot, but it was not quite enough, but still an amazing run for your first career start. Oh, man. And another Truck Series one goes to Timothy Peters. He came back and finished 7th for, I think it was Ricky Benton Racing. Man, what a run. I didn't even know he was really racing until the end, and he somehow snuck in a top 10. Great run for him. And to continue the cigars, whoever is next, take it away.
Yes, we have one more cigar for the Truck Series, and that goes to Austin Hill. I really don't know who the hell he is. You just see his name, and he's like, oh, he's there. You know, you don't even really give him a thought. But he finished in the top 10, 9th. I mean, good for you, dude. In that underfunded 02 truck, Tyler Young Motorsports. You know, Tyler Young, he's always a swig of orange juice. I don't know. He's just there. So, good job, guys. You get a cigar. The next cigar, now we go into the Cup race. Goes to Clint Boyer, obviously. I really don't have to repeat it all, but I will very quickly. 190 race, winless streak, snapped, dominated the race virtually, over 200 laps led, great methodical drive, navigated his way through the lap cars beautifully, withstood any pressure, maintained a gap. Just great job considering all the hell he has been through in the past couple of years, especially his H. Scott Motorsports days, which were awful, and even last year, which was a struggle as well. So, big cigar to you, Clint. And we have a couple more. Kane, who's next?
Our next cigar goes to Alex Bowman, who scored his first top 10 of the season and his 4th of his career. He finished 7th. He was actually the highest finishing Hendrick driver in today's race. So good for you, Bowman the showman. And our final cigar for today goes to A.J. Allmendinger. Started 25th, finished 8th. Allmendinger actually got a top 10 finish on a track that isn't a road course. How shocking! Now, I'm not really surprised. Allmendinger has actually had some pretty strong runs at Martinsville in the past. He did finish 2nd in, I believe it was 2016 or something like that. Still, considering where JTG Doherty Racing is at right now, an 8th place for them is a pretty strong day. That's for sure. And, yeah, I believe we have one last award. Who's it going to this week? Anybody know? What is it?
Tyler, do you know? Did you have an experience at the track, in the stands?
I think I did, Nick, and it's funny you mention it. You would never know. And this incident is so minor and minuscule, but why don't you just go ahead and have a look for yourself? What the hell was that? This guy. Okay, so let's just set the scene here real quickly. Two people just get all of a sudden to get into a little bit of a pissing match. One guy starts mouthing off about something. I don't really know what started it. I don't like people. Okay? I just heard this guy say, oh, you don't know nothing about fucking racing. You need to shut the hell up, or whatever he said to this Jimmy Johnson fan. And this guy, you know, looks like he's had a couple. And he just like, his buddy's trying to hold him back or whatever he was initially. And then he's like, man, don't do nothing now. Don't do nothing. Come on, man. You're bigger than this. And then he squirms out of his buddy's grasp. And then this security guard who gets in the way, he's just trying to break it up. He's just doing his job. This fucking guy comes over and gives this baby slap to the security guard. He didn't even hit the guy that was mouthing off at him. You big crybaby. Oh, you pissed off that Jimmy finished 15th and he got lapped at the end. Oh, no. Oh, you're realizing that Jimmy's career isn't what it once was. You got the grind, Joe. Oh, Jimmy fan. You need a box of Kleenex. You big crybaby.
My favorite part was just how the security guard just whips out his walkie-talkie like, oh no, not today.
We're gonna need backup down here.
I don't know if anybody saw, but another fan actually blew smoke from his cigarette into this guy's face. Holy God. If that's not the ultimate fuck you, I don't know what is.
Oh, I don't know, Harvick brake checking Denny Hamlin.
That too.
Oh man, that guy totally deserved it. I honestly, I don't know how somebody did end up leaving in handcuffs. They just kind of dispersed after that situation. But I mean, this was after the race is over. I mean, you got Clint Boyer celebrating in victory lane, and you got two people wanting to have a pissing match and try to piss all over it. Just ridiculous.
Obviously, it wasn't quite as good as the guy on pit road after the fall race going after Hamlin, but you know, it's up.
Your belly!
You read my mind, Nicholas, because you want to know what happened? He was there today. Santa was there.
I was going to ask you that. Oh my God.
He was on pit road. His belly.
Oh my God.
His belly!
A dirty veteran. Learn how to drive.
Santa, what are you doing? Shouldn't you be on the North Pole? Christmas is only less than 2 months away. You big crybaby. You should be making toys or controlling the elves. I know you want to chase the win. We all want to chase the win, but it didn't happen, damn it. You know, but you still get the grind down. God damn it, you fat son of a bitch. Look at you there with your belly. Your belly.
Get in my belly! Come on!
You got a big belly. You're probably a couple of 6-packs of Natty Light in, man. He was
back. The track actually let him back.
I know, they
I
did.
thought he was going to get banned after that incident last fall.
Nope, he was on pit road too. The picture shows him. You're going to see it right here. It shows him right next to Chase Elliott's car, watching over it. Hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's all come full circle for Santa. Now he doesn't look like a dick.
No. Well, we actually had some good paint schemes this week. Take a look at the quick montage. And of course, to balance that out, we had to have a couple worst. What's the first one?
Oh, Chris Buescher. Bush's Baked Beans. Now, in some aspect, the color brown on the car is actually not that bad. Take a look at these shots. The color's okay. It could have worked with a different paint scheme. But if you mosey on to actually look at the paint scheme, the awful throw-up yellow and just terrible design totally makes this car an absolute misfire. Ugly. Awful. Does not work. And if I have it my way, it's a nominee for worst paint scheme of the year. This fucking thing sucks. Not to mention the sponsor slappage. That's a JTG Doherty thing, but it still looks like ass. There's no way around it. So, just awful. There's another one. A couple more. Somebody else take it. I can't do this. It's hurting me, man. Too many bad paint schemes.
Well, it's a paint scheme we already did, but there were some slight changes made to it. William Byron's Liberty University car. Now, he obviously ran this paint scheme already once this year at Atlanta, but it had different color numbers on it. The numbers were red then. Today, they changed the numbers to white. It doesn't make the car any better. It still looks like ass. And whoever designed it still has to get pissed in their ficus.
Absolutely. You don't even really need to say any more than that. That was just direct on. And we're going to throw another dishonorable mention in the loop, by the way. Kyle Larson's car. The dual sponsorship, once again, with Credit One Bank and DC Solar. I just no. The paint scheme, they're dumbing it down. It just doesn't look good. Not near as good as his regular Credit One car, so I mean, it's not terrible, but again, it's another one of those cliche examples. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. That's it. Car sucks.
Yeah.
Alright, now it's time to recap the fantasy results and picks for Martinsville. Again, I come home with the victory after picking Ryan Blaney, who finished the race in 3rd place and getting me 52 points. And that was just enough to beat Nick by 2 points, who picked Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch, even though he finished better, just didn't have enough. Monty comes home in 3rd after picking Brad Keselowski, who got him 43 points. Brad finished in 10th. And Kane rounded out the rear by picking Denny Double Dicker Hamlin, who finished in 12th and got him 41 points. Enjoy this brief clip.
Yeah, overheat that son of a bitch!
Yeah, fuck you, Denny. Enjoy your 12th place. I really wish you would have overheated on pit road. That leads into Texas, and we have some picks to make. Kane, you are first up on the board.
Well, he almost won there last fall. It's another 1.5-mile track, so no surprise here. I'm going with Martin Truex Jr.
Damn it, Kane!
Enough said.
Alright, Demani, you're up next. Harvick! Nick, make your selection.
Well, I've been going back and forth on this, and you know what? It worked for you at Martinsville, so I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
That's incredible.
He seems like the best Penske guy right now. He knows what he's doing. He's got fast cars. He's just going to get stronger throughout the year. I think he's going to pick up the win at a good horsepower, choo-choo train style track. I really hope it doesn't come down to that, but I still think he'll be strong. So Ryan Blaney is going to get it done in that blindingly yellow frickin' ass car. Tyler, who are you picking?
Kyle Busch.
Uh,
I mean, I really don't have to say anything else. I could go into the whole theory and why he's good there, but I'm just going to take it as a safe pick. That's it. Don't want him to win. He can back it in the fence for all I care.
that was so sad.
He was. Well, that wraps up yet again another excellent episode of Behind the Wall presented by Perky Jerky. The 50th episode. Again, we are very proud of our accomplishment. And
50!
That was a little creepy, but the fact of the matter is, it is a big milestone, and we brought it up again. Deal with it. You're not listening to it anyways. So, for Demani HD, well, he's back to being dead. For Kane Jr. 88, he burps a lot. Thermite 917. He recently wrapped up a league championship, his first ever. Finally didn't choke in the chase. We're running out of jokes, but we'll still make them anyways. And for myself, Pro Bowl 43. Love Martinsville. I can't say it enough. What a great, awesome weekend. I can't believe it wasn't shit. So, this has been Behind the Wall. You've been Behind the Wall. And thank you for listening.
Hit record, I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Lap 385. That's going to sound weird.
Yeah, you said it like an assassin.
385.
Say it again.
385. 385. 385. There, you got like 3 options.
Greenfield. Greenfield.
Greenfield. Where the hell was he today?
Greenfield.
I tell you, it's like knick-knack, paddywhack. Hold on. I thought too much about it.
The next award is becoming another very common one. It's the Day from Hell. And that goes to Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Why do you say it like a gay person?
What? It's not like I said it was the Day from Hell.
Well, I thought you were going to be like, hell! You're like, hell!
Day from Hell.
Alright, go ahead.
You want me to fucking redo it again?
I don't know why it was so funny.
I'll just redo it again, whatever. It's going in the outtakes anyways. I cannot put enough... I was hearing background noise.
Not me?
Just Kane?
It was, Kane, it was you.
It was definitely
Are
you.
you sure?
I'm very
Yeah,
sure.
I was completely silent.
Okay, that was
See,
my
I'm
dog
so-
right there. So.
Well, I know that. I can't finish what I'm fucking saying when I have in the fucking background.
Eating Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I know you're
Sorry.
slurping, fucking whacking your tongue off the fridge. I cannot
Okay.
exp.
God dang it.
Shut.
That was totally
Oh.
unintentional. I was just...
I know, I know. I'm just saying, in a really nice, kind way, shut the fuck up. And Kane rounded out the rear by picking any old dicker, by picking old dicker devil. God damn it, what did I want to say?
I have
I
no
think-
idea.
I got it now.
Nice track. Not so nice snow.
Not so nice now.
Oh, yeah.